Good morning today from the Lake Ann Trailhead. Dan and I are getting ready to start up Mount Shuksan, going up the Fisher Chimneys route. So this is the parking area here. You can see Table Mountain up here. And we will be heading right over the hill here on the Lake Ann Trail, down, across and over to Lake Ann. And then we'll be able to see the route from there. So here we are looking at Dan in front of Lake Ann. We just stopped and had a break here, filled up on water. Took us about just over 4 miles to get to the lake, about 1,000 feet. And now, there she is. So we're gonna be heading over somewhere along here, up to the Fisher Chimneys, up to Winnie's slide for tonight. That's the goal. And then tomorrow morning, our goal is to go along the upper Curtis Glacier, up Hills Highway, on the backside on the Sulphide Glacier, and up to the summit. It's a pretty imposing face right here. Beautiful. So we're coming up close to the first chimney. So there's one path that goes lower, and you can work all the way below this cliff band and up. From what I've heard, the more established route takes this higher path, and we're gonna go up somewhere in here, up and around to the next cliff band. Actually looks like that might be trail up there too, we'll see. But we go across the rocks to the next cliff band to get into the proper chimneys. Getting to the top of the first section of Fisher Chimney Scrambling, the lower section. Over here you got beautiful Baker. You come up, it's a pretty easy trail to follow. Comes over here, and then we're gonna cut across this slope, and the base to the chimney, I can't tell if my finger's lined up, but it's right up in there. Looks like we head up that way. We will check it out. Feel like we're getting closer already. We're above the lower Curtis Glacier there. Pretty cool ice down here. Looking forward to being up and cooling off and not having to haul heavy packs once we get through the chimneys and Winnie's slide. It's a hot day to be hauling packs. I was thinking the trail was going to curve around, but I think it actually just comes up this way and then go up through this gully and up to the right. You can see a rappel station up there as well. This kind of looks intimidating from below, but it looks nice and secure, really.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, had to reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running east, looking for...
Taking a little breather here, and Dan is working his way up the chimneys below me. They call it the chimneys, but it's really more of a series of gullies that we're going up. Pretty cool. Also, I was saying before this trip that it was going to be time for new boots soon. You know, these are getting kind of worn down. Well, yeah, it's definitely going to be time for new boots because now I got this going on. Oh boy. Good thing I'll have crampons on up above. Just try not to trip on that.
Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye. Let's have a toast for those lost old lives. And my crooked little heart that seems so rebellious is falling apart right now. I'm bleeding, an easy kill, gonna leave it all behind. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way, fell between the fold, pulling stitches, time to let go.
We are reaching the top of the chimneys. And we're gonna be on some snow. Winnie's slide should be around over that way. We came up the chimneys and crested somewhere down right in that area. Came down across this little snow patch that came down and around underneath these rocks, and then got to this rock band. You get up here and we are just below Winnie's slide. This is some camp areas here. I believe this is Winnie's slide heading up, which has a pretty good pack right now. Shouldn't be too bad to go up there. I think we're going to go up and camp above the slide after taking another little break right here. So doing good. So far we're at about 5 hours and 20 minutes, mostly moving time. We've come up about 3,100 feet and we're at just over 6 miles in. So pretty soon we'll be at our campsite and be able to rest for the night. Going to be starting up Winnie's slide. You can see it's pretty steep right here, but there's a decent boot pack, so should be able to make it up okay with one axe. We'll see how it goes. Out. You can see it does get pretty steep right here. There's Ian coming across. be wearing gloves. It's been so hot, I didn't feel like digging them out. My hands will warm back up quick. Alright, we've made it to our camp for the night. Perched up above Winnie's slide. Got a backdoor view right here looking out to Mount Baker. We're way up on the cliffside here, so down there's the lower Curtis Glacier. Pretty sheer cliffs running up to what we'll be climbing on tomorrow, which is the upper Curtis Glacier. So tomorrow we're going to be working up this way, get up behind on the very top of the glacier. We're going to follow it all the way down here, and then we've got probably the biggest obstacle of this climb, which is going to be Hell's Highway right now. It's looking very steep at the top. There's some ice that's about 70 degrees, so we're probably going to have to lead that pitch to get up there and then rappel it on the way down, so that will be interesting. And then once we're up top, make sure I'm pointing in the right place. Once we're up top, we go back behind all this on the Sulfide Glacier and work our way up to the summit pyramid. We'll be behind this scramble up to the very top. Should be exciting, but very beautiful spot to be camping for the night. And we are the only ones here. There were tons of people on the route today on Sunday, but they've all gone down, and now we're the only ones up here above Winnie's slide, at least. I don't know if any groups are coming up later down below, but pretty cool to have this route all to ourselves.